Hello, I'm Simon and welcome to the SciRob YouTube channel. Now, about, almost 7 years ago now, one of my earliest videos was showing you how to test a glow plug. In fact, if you type in how to test glow plugs into YouTube, it's the first one that comes up. It's got getting on for 1 million views. It's over 900,000 views. Good approval rating, over 90%, but when you have a video with that many views, it's inevitable that you're going to get odd comments going on, and people will throw in their qualifications and all that kind of stuff in order to somehow prove that what you've done is wrong. So I'm going to explore testing glow plugs again, explain the reason why I use this particular method, and also look into some of the alternatives that were suggested in the comments and explain why I don't use those methods instead. So in terms of accessing glow plugs in the engine, you can do it with them in situ in the car. The engine must be stone cold, and all you need to do is just remove the connector for each of the glow plugs. So all that you're left with is just the glow plug screwed into the engine. If you've got one of those systems where you have a bar connecting all of the glow plugs to do them in one go, you'd need to remove the bar so that each glow plug is standalone screwed into the engine. You then just set your multimeter to resistance. If it's manual ranging, put it on the lowest setting that's available. Then all you need to do then, with the leads in the correct sockets, you just put the black lead onto the engine block. If you've only got probes, just touch the engine block, and then with the red lead you just touch the top of the glow plug and it will give you the resistance. So as you can see there, 0.8 ohms. These leads have 0.2 ohms resistance in them, so the net figure is 0.6 ohms. And my particular glow plugs, the brand new spec is 0.698 ohms. So there's absolutely no problem with my glow plugs. So this test is basically the equivalent of the one that's shown in the original video, but just showing you how to do it when it's in the car. And you just work your way along, getting a reading for each one, and you're looking for whatever the spec is for yours, and they're nearly always around 1 ohm or just under 1 ohm. Then whilst you're there, you can also test the glow plug connector to make sure that it's delivering the voltage that's required. Not all glow plugs are 12 volts, some may be higher if they're on a truck or whatever. Some versions are 7 volts, some might be 4 volts. So the actual reading that you're looking for from the glow plug connector will vary dependent on the type of glow plugs you've got for your particular car. So on mine, my glow plugs are a 12 volt system, and so basically I'm looking for the glow plug connector to deliver battery voltage into the glow plugs. And earlier on you probably just saw me removing the coolant temperature sensor plug. That's because it was quite a warm day, and so the glow plugs wouldn't ordinarily be triggered, and so you remove the sensor plug in order to trick the car into thinking it's colder than it is, and it will activate the glow plug relay. So once again, what I'm going to be doing here is just having the black multimeter lead on a good ground, the engine block or a ground point under the bonnet. Set the meter to DC volts, and then you just simply turn on the ignition whilst testing the positive lead inside the actual glow plug connector. The voltage should come up and it should be within whatever spec is correct for your car. So in my case, around about 12 volts. And then one of the other suggestions which was in the comments was to use a test light. These are very simple things. You need to make sure you've got the correct voltage test light though. They do them in 6 volts normally as well as 12 volts, so that's another consideration. And I don't like using test lights for glow plugs. I don't see the point. So you basically hook up one end of the test light to a permanent live, and as you can see, if I touch a ground there, the test light lights up. And the theory is that because glow plugs work from low resistance, you just tap it on the end of the glow plug, and if it lights up, the glow plug works, and if it doesn't, it's dead. The only problem is that because it's an electrical component, there is a chance that the glow plug can short internally. And so if the glow plug is shorted to ground, you'll get the light lighting up because it's got a good ground connection. So it's a nice idea, but it does leave a little bit of room for error, so I don't bother with the test light. Then finally, this is to address the quite common thing that in my original video I was touching the glow plugs, and so that would affect the reading. So I'm going to do this test completely by the book using something that's non-conductive for the glow plug to sit on top of. I've got 2 glow plugs here, one's completely dead, one's perfectly good, and as you can see we've got open circuit. Well, the multimeter actually goes up to 60 mega ohms, so it's over 60 mega ohms for that particular glow plug, and that's a dead glow plug. I'm now going to put it onto the working glow plug. Exactly the same. This is a resistance test again, just like in the original video. The leads resistance on these leads is 0.2. We've got a reading of 0.8. Take that off and we're at 0.6. So that is a working glow plug, and I could put that straight back on the car. So to now investigate this nonsense about, handling the glow plug will affect the accuracy, let's have a look at an alternative way of testing in order to prove, hopefully conclusively, that, people just don't know what they're talking about. So, so what I'm doing here, I'm just testing my probes now, and these have 0.1 resistance in the leads. So I need to take 0.1 away from whatever is the resistance on the glow plug itself. So on this first one here, so this is the good one, and it's at 0.7 minus the 0.1, it's the 0.6 net figure. So once again, for that particular glow plug, it's absolutely fine. So what this shows here, this is on the glow plug that was originally over 60 mega ohms, and as you can see now, it's on 600,000 ohms instead. And the reason for that is because your hands do conduct electricity. Your body is over 50% water, so if I just touch the probes there, you can see that there's around about 2 mega ohms resistance in my body. The thing is though, is that because that 2 mega ohms is better or lower than the 60 mega ohms that the dead glow plug was having, there's the example of it conducting through water as well, because my body resistance was lower, it did indeed affect the accuracy of the test, but only on the dead glow plug. That's all it did. And to illustrate this even further, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick everything in water, just so you can see. So this has gone from 60 mega ohms or open circuit to now less than 1 mega ohm. So it's at 800, 700,000, 800,000 ohms. And so yes, the conductivity of my fingers and my body and the water has made a difference to the accuracy of that particular test. But if I get a good glow plug and do exactly the same thing, it has absolutely zero effect on the reading, because electricity, especially at such a low current, it's inherently lazy, and so as a result, the electricity that's generated by the multimeter will go into the glow plug, and it will be unaffected by the 1+ mega ohms of my body. And that's why that test is effective. Whether you handle the glow plugs or not, a good glow plug will be found out, and a bad glow plug, yeah, the test won't be accurate for that, but who cares? It's a bad glow plug, so it makes no difference. Anyway, if you've learnt something, great. If you haven't and you're just shaking your head at some of the nonsense that I have to deal with, I hope you enjoyed the video regardless, and thanks very much for watching.